Yes, definitely. This time we would celebrate because we couldn't celebrate any recent victories. I mean, today I met Gopi sir. He said like party karenge.
Okay.
So he was like, he said like in real sense, like he won't say like that.
हाँ,
I mean, he never say me like he said like all whole the team, all the doubles team, and the whole academy will have a
हम्म,
dinner together once Chirag is back from Mumbai, and
हम्म.
we'll plan. And definitely we would love to dance. We'll keep some music and dance. Get out of the badminton zone, then party, then again back to the zone.
All right. We wish you both of you all the best. Keep shining. Thanks a lot for speaking to us. With that, it's a wrap on Plain Speak. Stay tuned. More news and updates continue.
Hello everyone, you're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. The war on crime in Uttar Pradesh continues with the murder of dreaded gangster Anil Dujana in an encounter with the UP Special Task Force in Meerut. Reports suggest Dujana was released from jail just a week back after getting bail in one of the murder cases against him. Immediately after getting bail, he began threatening one of the key witnesses against him. Following that, the Special Task Force moved in to try and arrest him. Police say Dujana started a gun battle in an attempted ambush but was neutralized by the police. He was one of the most wanted criminals of the state who ran a gang that terrorized western Uttar Pradesh. Dujana had over 50 cases against him, including murder, extortion, robbery and land grab, and was booked under the Gunda and National Security Act. The Uttar Pradesh police has called this a big win in the war against the mafia and resonates with Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's message where he said in the State Assembly, "Mitti mein mila denge." This also comes days after the state police killed Asad Ahmed in Jhansi, who was wanted in the Umesh Pal murder case, where 2 police personnel were also killed. The opposition, meanwhile, has once again taken on the Yogi government, accusing it of replacing the law and order system with an encounter Raj. However, with bulldozer actions and encounters of dreaded criminals, Yogi Adityanath is politically solidifying his tough on crime image. Is the opposition playing a losing game when questioning the crackdown on crime?
अनिल दुजाना जो एक ड्रेडेड गैंगस्टर है वेस्टर्न यूपी का, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किलर भी था। 18 मर्डर के केसेस इस पर हैं। इसे STF की मेरठ यूनिट ने एक मुठभेड़ में मार गिराया है।
माफिया कोई भी हो, सरकार की जीरो टॉलरेंस की नीति है और उन माफियाओं के खिलाफ मिट्टी में मिलाने का काम उनका हमारी सरकार करेगी। पूरी मजबूती के साथ इनसे निपटने का कार्य करेगी।
And let me go straight to Meerut, where Anand Tiwari is joining me from the encounter site. Anand, ये encounter किस वक्त हुआ और अनिल दुजाना क्या वो अपने गैंग के साथ थे? वो अगर कुछ दिन पहले ही रिलीज हुए थे तो पुलिस को एनकाउंटर करने की क्या जरूरत पड़ी?
आज देखिए हम इसी क्राइम स्पॉट पे खड़े हुए हैं। गंग नहर मेरठ का ये वो पूरा क्राइम स्पॉट है, जहां पर आप देख सकते हैं ये जो चौक से मार्क किया हुआ पुलिस ने, ये बुलेट मार्क है। यहाँ पर एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर हुआ है। ये जो आप इलेक्ट्रिक पोल देख रहे हैं, दरअसल स्कॉर्पियो गाड़ी दिल्ली नंबर की थी। मेरे ठीक पीछे बागपत और मेरठ का रास्ता आता है, वहां से लगातार यूपी STF की टीम जो है वो अनिल दुजाना को चेस कर रही थी और यहाँ पे आके जब उसे कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश की गई, उसे बोला कि रोकने के लिए कहा गया उसकी गाड़ी, लेकिन उसके बाद उसने इसी पोल के पास अपनी गाड़ी लाके भिड़ा दी। इसके बाद उसने जो 4 वेपन्स थे उनसे लगातार करीबन 15 राउंड फायरिंग जो है वो यूपी STF की टीम के ऊपर की है। और मेरे थोड़ा पीछे आप देखेंगे यहाँ पर भी जो एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर हुआ है, क्योंकि ये पूरा रोड है जहां पर एक पुलिस की जिप्सी खड़ी है। ये बागपत से अनिल दुजाना स्कॉर्पियो गाड़ी से आ रहा था। करीबन 70 कार्टेजेस जो हैं वो उसकी गाड़ी से बरामद किए गए हैं। 6 राउंड फायर जो है वो यूपी एसटीएफ ने अनिल दुजाना के ऊपर किया है, जिसके बाद इनकाउंटर में उसकी मौत हो गई है। फिलहाल जो मेरठ का अस्पताल है वहां पे उसकी डेड बॉडी को रखा गया है पोस्टमार्टम के लिए, और उसके बाद परिवार को उसकी जो डेड बॉडी है वो सुपुर्द कर दी जाएगी। यूपी एसटीएफ ने एक बड़ी जानकारी दी है कि अनिल दुजाना 2 ऐसे गवाह थे जिनके परिवार के सदस्यों का मर्डर अनिल दुजाना ने किया था। उन लोगों की टारगेट किलिंग करना चाह रहा था और उसी के लिए वो वेपन्स लेके किसी खास जगह पर अपने गुर्गों से मिलने जा रहा था, लेकिन यूपी एसटीएफ ने उससे पहले ही उसे यहाँ पर मुठभेड़ में ढेर कर दिया।
आनंद, ये जो घटना की जो साइट है जहां पे एनकाउंटर किया है यूपी के एसटीएफ ने, यूपी के एसटीएफ के कितने लोग थे, कितने घंटे से ये चेस चल रहा था और फाइनली ये एनकाउंटर हुआ?
जी देखिए, बिल्कुल हम आपको दिखाते हैं। ये जो रास्ता है दरअसल यहाँ से लेफ्ट साइड में पूरा मेरठ शहर है, और अगर आप सीधा रास्ता देखेंगे जो पुलिस की गाड़ी खड़ी है, पगडंडी का रास्ता है, ये बागपत के लिए जाता है। बताया जा रहा है कि बागपत से मुजफ्फरनगर की तरफ रुक कर रहा था स्कॉर्पियो गाड़ी से अनिल दुजाना। हालांकि गाड़ी दिल्ली नंबर की है, वो गाड़ी क्या चोरी की है, लूट की है या किसी एसोसिएट की है, फिलहाल ये जांच का विषय है। करीबन 50 से ज्यादा पुलिस फोर्स जो है वो लगातार पूरे इलाके में ट्रैप करी हुई थी जगह जगह से कि अनिल दुजाना इस बार यहां से बच के ना निकल पाए। कुछ ऐसे इनपुट भी मिले थे कि अनिल दुजाना के पास वेपन्स हैं और वो किसी बड़ी वारदात को अंजाम दे सकता है, क्योंकि पास के एक जिले में निकाय चुनाव चल रहे हैं, तो वहां पर कोई गड़बड़ी ना फैला दे। इसके बाद लगातार यहां पर उसे रोकने के लिए कहा गया, लेकिन उसके बाद उसने जवाबी फायरिंग जो है वो पुलिस के ऊपर करना शुरू कर दी। करीबन 15 राउंड फायरिंग उसने पुलिस पार्टी में की है। पुलिस की गाड़ियों पर बुलेट्स के मार्क लगे हुए हैं, और उसके बाद पुलिस ने 6 राउंड फायर किया, जिसमें से कुछ गोलियां जो हैं वो अनिल दुजाना को लगी हैं, जिसके बाद उसकी मौत हो गई है। ब्रॉड डेड उसे घोषित कर दिया गया है। बता दें कि तिहाड़ जेल में लंबे वक्त से अनिल दुजाना बंद था, और ऐसे इनपुट मिल रहे हैं कि टिल्लू ताजपुरिया, जिसका हाल ही में मर्डर किया गया है, उसके साथ वो जेल के अंदर मंडोली जेल में एसोसिएट था, और 10 अप्रैल को ही वो जमानत पर बाहर आया था। और फिर वो जो 2 गवाह हैं उनके परिवार को वो टारगेट किलिंग करके मारना चाह रहा था, ताकि उसके खिलाफ जो गवाही थी वो ना हो पाए और वो बाकी मुकदमों में बरी हो जाए। तो ये प्लानिंग को कहीं ना कहीं यूपी एसटीएफ ने फेल किया है, और एक बड़ी कामयाबी जो है वो यूपी एसटीएफ और यूपी सरकार को मिली है। एक और जो गैंगस्टर है उसका इनकाउंटर में खात्मा कर दिया गया है।
All right, thank you so much for joining us, Anand, for that quick update from ground where the encounter took place. Let me bring in my guests. Arvind Kumar Jain is former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. Dr. Kaushal K. Mishra is BJP spokesperson. We have Abbas Haider, Samajwadi Party spokesperson. Ashwini Dubey is an advocate of Supreme Court. Mr. Jain, I'm going to begin with you because I'm trying to understand as to why these encounters are taking place one after the other in Uttar Pradesh. And does the UP government and the UP police, the special task force, have a case to go ahead with these encounters?
He was a very dreaded criminal. He has already committed 18 murders, and he was planning to murder 2 witnesses, prime witnesses and complainant of a murder case, one lady and another person. He had given extortion calls to several businessmen in the meanwhile. Cases were registered against him by UP police. I have been SSP Ghaziabad when Ghaziabad was won. This Gautam Buddha Nagar had not been carved out and Hapur had not been carved out. In 94-95, I was SSP. Then I was DIG Meerut. I know of the crime situation of that place. These are very, very dreaded gangsters. This person belongs to a village called Dujana, from where Sundar dacoit hailed. He had given threat to Indira Gandhi to kill her. A very famous dacoit, Sundar Daku, from Dujana. So these are bad lands of UP, and they have always been in news because of bad reasons, because of wrong reasons, and this person is a very, very dreaded criminal. He has been
but he was out on bail, Mr. Jain. Yes, he may be a dreaded criminal, but and I have details of his case history. But the question is that this is a case of encounter.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. But once you come out of the bail and you come out of the jail on bail, and if you again start indulging in same activities, and if you want to liquidate prime witnesses as was done by Atiq gang, by liquidating Umesh Pal and his two gunners. So such activities cannot be allowed to continue, and you are making extortion calls because you have come out on bail. So now you want money to run the gang.
Yes,
and you are.
Ashwini Dubey, the point being made by Mr. Jain as the former DGP of Uttar Pradesh is something that many would agree with. That here is a dreaded criminal who is continuing with his activities on the period that he is out on bail. Take us through the encounter manual of the police. Is it a last resort in police operations, or is this an indication of a free hand given to the police to track and eliminate criminals?
Thank you, Mariaji, for having me here. The misuse of power by the law enforcement agencies are not recognized by the law. If any illegal killing which is without the due process of law and which is threatening the due process of law, irrespective of the fact that it is being celebrated in the public. And if these kind of encounters illegally being done by the police officials before the judgments of the trial arrives, that violates the right of an individual, and which is given under Article 21 of the Constitution of India, which is called the right to life. Accused person, even not given a right to prove himself or herself innocent before the court of law, which is illegal and it violates the basic human rights. Now you have asked for the provisions. There are no direct provisions in the Indian legal system which authorized any official to kill an accused person without receiving an order from the legal authority. There are 2-3 sections which are in the Criminal Procedure Code. Section 100 of the Indian Penal Code authorizes every individual to exercise their right to private defense. That can include causing death if there is a reasonable fear of threat to one's life. The another provision is Section 46 of the CRPC, which allows the police officers to use any degree of force which is required to arrest the accused or prevent the accused from escaping. Now, one other provision is there, Section 4 of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which authorized police officers to use force, including lethal force against anyone. Now, what constitutionality of the extrajudicial killing? Extrajudicial killings are an attack on the fundamental rights of the citizens. Article 14, right to equality is violated. Article 21, the right to life and personal liberty except according to the procedure established by the law is violated.
Yes, but Ashwini Dubey, if I were to look at the entire history of this man, 63 criminal cases against him, including 18 murder cases, extortion, loot, murder, grabbing and possession of land. He got a bail just a week back and was released from the jail. He could have not indulged in extortion calls and what all he was doing. So the larger question is, do we argue about the right to life of a criminal of this nature?
See, encounters, since public is celebrating it, since certain sections are celebrating this kind of fact, and he is such a dreaded criminal and he should not have come out on bail, then the police has a right to oppose his bail by moving to the...
Yes, that's right. The police should be opposing the bail in the court of law rather than, what the circumstances as it has been explained by the UP-STF. Before I bring in Abbas Haider of the Samajwadi Party, Mr. Mishra, there is always an investigation that happens after such encounters. The question is, but there are larger questions being raised. Yes, he may be a criminal, but he was out on bail. If the UP government had evidence that he was indulging in extortion, he was blackmailing them, and he was about to eliminate his witnesses, then that should have been challenged in the court of law. He should have been arrested and taken to the court of misusing bail. कौशल जी, आपसे सवाल है.
Yes, Maria. Maria, I have no problem in any encounter killing if it is judicial, because the police action is free, fair, fearless, lawful, and no encounter can be justified by anybody. Okay? And I am not here to justify the encounter killing. I am saying the police action was free, fearless, and lawful, because the same constitution gives right to life to the policemen also, that in the defense they can shoot anybody. So this is particular fundamental right which is provided to you and me, everybody. So if that criminal is firing on the police, what police should do? Is police should do sit down in front of Netaji and doing salam to Netaji? No, not at all. This is action police, and this is Yogi Raj, in which the police is guided to act legally, constitutionally, but fearlessly. And that is what police is doing. Now the police is not under the control of Mafia Raj or Gunda Raj or Netaji. It is doing its own job by its own lawful action. Every encounter killing
so
is
it's
supervised
essentially
by
the police
a judicial
saying,
inquiry and probe.
Okay. Mr. Abbas Haider, because this argument is being made by the BJP spokesperson that just as we say that the criminal has right to life, what about the right to life of the cop on whom this criminal is firing? The question is that, is the Samajwadi Party now on the wrong side of this politically, because here is the BJP sending a clear message that they are taking action against criminals.
See, the problem is every citizen has got a right to live in this country. We don't stand with any criminal. But the problem here is, you know, the very same day when a son of a Samajwadi Party candidate from Firozabad, his son was shot in Firozabad. This is happening. So suddenly, certainly this will raise suspicion against the Bharatiya Janata Party government.
No, but why are you bringing in the Samajwadi Party man's son? How are the two related?
No, because
I'm talking about Anil Dujana.
At this time, you would have been talking about that incident, what happened in Firozabad. But Bharatiya Janata Party wants to divert public attention, you know, from issues, from lawlessness in Uttar Pradesh, which is happening every day. You can see yesterday a man was killed in Hathras. This is happening everywhere in Uttar Pradesh. But the problem here is, you know, this criminal, I mean, who was shot in an encounter, which is claimed by the police. So my question is if that person is being shot, if that person has been shot in an encounter, then why are criminals in Uttar Pradesh so fearless that they can shoot the police?
So while you're talking about, you know, the alleged killing of a Samajwadi Party leader's son, you don't have any issue with this encounter.
I am saying that, you know, if I believe the police theory, police has said that, you know, this an encounter has happened. So the encounter is basically when a criminal fires on the cop and in retaliation to save their life they fire. So this is what an encounter happens in an encounter.
Kaushal Mishra ji,
this is an encounter.
ये diversionary tactic है, यही बोल रही है सपा.
You can understand the
larger जो issue है वो law and order का है. आप लोग law and order के against, आप law and order पे tough नहीं है.
You know how criminals in UP feel? They feel that, you know, there is total lawlessness in UP. There is no rule of law in Uttar Pradesh. We then, you know, these things can be taken care by
हाँ बोलिए. Go ahead. कौशल जी बोलिए.
He should, yes. मारिया, बात ये नहीं है कि लॉलेसनेस है या नहीं है. बात ये है कि समाजवादी पार्टी के आज इस क्रिमिनल के लिए आज समाजवादी पार्टी के ना हैंडल से ट्वीट आया, ना अखिलेश यादव बोले. क्योंकि हमारी पुलिस तो काम कर रही है अपराधियों के खिलाफ, क्रिमिनल्स के खिलाफ, पर समाजवादी पार्टी सेलेक्टिव है. क्योंकि ना इसमें एम है ना इसमें वाई है. इसलिए अब वो ये कह रही है कि ये किलिंग से इनको कोई मतलब नहीं है. अब ये समाजवादी पार्टी के किलिंग जो भी डेथ की बात करें, आई डोंट नो अबाउट दैट डेथ, बट नाउ द समाजवादी पार्टी इज डाइवर्टिंग द इशू. हियर द पुलिस इज एक्टिंग डूइंग द सेम एक्शन अगेंस्ट द क्रिमिनल which is lawful as guided by our constitution. For the safety of policemen has got full right to fire on anybody, on the even criminal. When the criminal is firing on the policeman, what a policeman should do. But the Samajwadi Party now will not come for this killing. But if Samajwadi Party's some member, some mafia raj like Atik or somebody was related to Samajwadi, then he will come.
Okay, so the larger question is the encounter manual of the police, Arvind Jain.
Let me explain it to you. Policemen are not at all interested in staging an encounter. Let me make it very clear, because they have to go through a very long process of law. In this encounter, case will be registered because of encounter. Then police will submit final report in a court of law. In court of law, anybody can challenge that final report, and there will be hearing in court. And unless and until final report is accepted by a court of law, case will be open. There will be magisterial inquiry, there will be inquiry by NHRC in this case, and if High Court feels or some other agency feels, case can be referred to CBI also for further investigation. So I keep on talking to so many policemen. They are not at all interested in staging encounter. There used to be a policy of out-of-turn promotion in UP, which has been given up several years back. Now there is no out-of-turn promotion for policemen.
So they're not rewarded if there is some kind of encounter that happens, because it is always subject of investigation. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Arvind Jain, Dr. Kaushal, Ashwini Dubey and Abbas Haider. A piece of breaking news coming in now. Breaking news coming in of a brutal murder inside Tihar jail. CNN News 18 has now accessed CCTV footage of dreaded gangster Tajpuria being killed inside Tihar jail. Anshul, when did this happen?
So yes, this incident happened on the 2nd of May. It was early morning at 6:10 a.m. is the information that we have had, and this entire incident happened inside the premises of the Tihar jail, where according to the Tihar jail sources, he was lodged in a high security jail, and just above his floor were the gang members of the Gogi gang. Now remember, Tillu Tejpuria was in fact arrested by the Delhi police for the encounter that happened, in fact the shootout that happened inside the Rohini court last year, where dread gangster Gogi was killed by the gang members of Tillu Tejpuria while he was being presented in front of the court. So this attack is being seen as a give back or as an attempt to give back to Tillu Tejpuria, and this incident.
No, but this is happening inside jail. Just look at those visuals. He is being beaten up. Who are these people beating him up?
So these are the gang members of the Gogi gang, and they had planned this entire incident way in advance. They made weapons, improvised those weapons, made those weapons out of the jail cells itself. They used their bed sheets as a rope to get down from the first floor to the ground floor, and all of this happened in a time span of 3 to 4 minutes, and the Delhi police team or the security personnel who were deployed there did not get any chance to respond, and Tillu Tejpuria had died on the spot. When he was taken to the hospital, doctors declared him broad dead. So this incident that has happened inside Tihar jail has definitely raised a lot of eyebrows. And definitely, because remember, this is not the first such incident that has happened inside the jail cells of Tihar. Just a few weeks ago, another dread gangster, Prince Tevatia, was also killed in the same manner inside the Tihar jail cell itself.
So the larger question is, Anshul, will action be taken against those cops who are supposed to be ensuring that those who are being punished through the process of law actually continue to be safe inside Tihar jail? Vikram Singh, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, these are visuals that are coming in of how Tajpuria was killed inside Tihar jail. The question is, Mr. Vikram Singh, that, where are those who are supposed to be protecting them, even though while we may say that these are dreaded criminals, it's a gang war, but how can a gang war be allowed inside jail?
You are absolutely right. The murder of Tajpuria raises very pertinent questions and disconcerting questions at that. The police are supposed to, the jail administration, to ensure proper safety of all the detainees. That a gang war could happen and Tajpuria was done to death. This again raises serious questions about the sanitization, the internal security of the jails, and also the professional competence of the jail staff. Much has been said and written, and much has happened in the Tihar jail. Sukesh Chandrasekhar reportedly paid 1 crore of bribe every day to the Tihar officials. And also the earlier murders of the gangsters in the jail also put a question mark on the professional competence of jail staff. Nothing much has happened in the earlier cases. So we were actually quoting the recipe of disaster, and Tajpuria was waiting to happen. I do hope this is treated as a wake-up call and an alarm bell. Adequate precautions are taken.
Yes,
and those
just
who are
a week
of
back,
should be thrown out.
Just a week back, Vikram Singh, there was another dreaded criminal who was killed. There is a gang war that's happening inside Tihar jail, and this is one of the most high security prisons of India. You have an incident which is related to Sukesh Chandrasekhar, the con man, who is provided with all kinds of benefits and luxuries inside Tihar jail because he happens to pay the officials who are supposed to be, guarding the rule of law. Is there any action that will be taken, or is it just about transferring some, suspending some officers? These are largely action that is taken against the junior most.
Absolutely, you're right. No drastic or deterrent action has been taken till date. It is why we are quoting the recipe of disaster. Unless deterrent action, that would say registering a case, sending them to jail for complicity and criminal conspiracy, and dismissing them from service by the provisions of Article 311 of the Constitution of India, nothing is going. Cosmetics and such kid glove treatment is not going to help us in any manner.
Thank you so much. Let me go back to the reporter who's